Okay, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. I have a few quotations here. They're all short, and I just thought they were profound and could add some substance to our practice this morning. Um, the first one is by Martin Buber. Buber. Real faith means holding ourselves open to the unconditional mystery which we encounter in every sphere of our life, which cannot be compressed in any formula. Unconditional mystery. Holding ourselves open. So that's allowing the flow. And then Anzen Hosman Roshi. Must be Asian, maybe. No matter how much we like or dislike, or are hurt or maimed by a thought, action, or event, our attitudes do not color the event itself, only our relationship to it. As this is so, no matter how much we stomp or shout or cajole or whine, reality is what it is. In this is sacredness and dignity. So if you think about your reactions to events, especially, oh my goodness, with the events that are going on in the world today, sometimes it's easy to want to stomp and throw a tantrum. But reality is what it is, and we can contribute to making changes to it just through our consciousness. So I guess we have our work cut out for us. All right. So a Chinese sage, there is no actual name. This one is quite beautiful. I pack no provisions for my long journey, entering emptiness under the midnight moon. I think a lot lately about escaping to a mountain. I just feel like there's a mountain with my name on it out there in the west somewhere. And I just envision going there with no food, no water, no supplies, just going and allowing the mystery to unfold. It's just a vision, but it when you have nothing, no possessions with you, you're dependent on the universe, on the cosmos, and I've seen amazing miracles happen. So it's just a kind of a mental exercise, I guess. But that's what this reminded me of. So we'll just kind of reflect on those a little bit. That emptiness, all of them actually refer to that emptiness, which is to empty the mind, to let go of attachment, and just allow ourselves to be rather than doing. So we'll just empty our minds now and center. And then get started with some movement. Just a reminder to lift up out of your hips And if it's uncomfortable to sit in easy pose, you can always change your position. You can come into swastika if you need to, and just whatever works for you. So you can also use a cushion, or, you know, if you have your roller. We're going to be working with rollers. So anybody, any subscribers that are watching, if you have a roller or a couple of mats that you can roll up and tie, we're going to be working with them again this morning. So um, just close your eyes and close out the outer environment. Come into your inner sanctum, sacred space. Remembering that we all are sovereign beings guided by life, the cosmos, the creator being, which is amazing in itself because that flows through us, that is us. Become aware of your flow of breath containing the vital life force within it, which flows through us with the breath. Be aware of thoughts coming into your mind. Acknowledge them and just let them pass through like clouds in the sky, passing overhead. See if there's any emotion that needs to be recognized and allowed to flow through. Sometimes they're right at the tip of our awareness. And then check in with your physical bodies, checking in with muscles and joints and just feeling sensation, the messages that our bodies send. Some say the body is the mind manifest in form. So what's in our bodies is held in the mind. And we can always ask how that is, how that relates. We'll intend this morning to allow the vital life force to flow freely through us, cleansing, bringing in more light so that we can shine that light. And we also grow the light within us. We create light. So to start with our attunement to breath, bring palms together in front of your heart. Breathe your deep breath as you lift up overhead and open out. And today we'll add a little adjustment, breathing up. Turn to your left and open your arms, one in back, one in front. As you lower down, exhale, come back to center, breathe it up. And to your right. And continue repeating. Imagine this cleansing your energy field. Once more to each side. And one last time in center, completing the cleansing of our energy field. Ending in Anjali Mudra. Just bring your palms down in front of you and slide your hands out. Reach as you hinge forward in your hips. Just take it slowly. Lengthen away from your hips and then slide a little further. And then reaching. And just allow the stretch as you remain in position. Breathe and allow relaxation on your exhales. Allow your ribs to expand so that you can get a full deep breath. And we'll walk our hands back in. Lift up. Lean back and switch your feet, whichever was in front or on top. Just switch. Reach up. Press your sitting bones down into the earth, palms onto the mat. And again, hinge forward. You'll feel this in your hip joints, but also into your glutes, piriformis, thighs. Take it slow. Allow any tension or pain to spill out and flow away to be cleansed by the cleansing angels. Breathing fully. And then we'll lift up and give our hip flexors a break. Just lean back and stretch your legs out. Shake out your knees. Press the back of your legs down against the mat. And bring your palms behind you, fingertips either direction. Just press your palms down. Extend through your heels. Lift in your sternum. Open the shoulders and chest. Lift your chin and come into an arch to the back. So a counter pose to our forward bends in easy pose or half lotus. Keep lifting. Bring shoulder blades towards each other. Relax your neck. Elongate your spine. Remember to press your legs down against the mat. And then come forward again. And just loosen up in your shoulders. Circle around. Reverse. All right. And just swing your arms to loosen up in your elbows. And bring it down into your wrists. Make some circles. And reverse. All right. And feet. Just windshield wipers. And circle around in your ankles. You can circle both feet or you can do your egg beaters. And reverse. All right, just a gentle bend forward. We're not going to our maximum. We're just exploring. So lift up out of your hips. Press your legs down, engage your thighs and knees, and just a little bend forward. See how it feels. All right. So bend your knees in swastika to your left and extend your right hand out along the along the floor, I guess. And then breathe up with your left arm. Pull away from that hip. Stretch and then bend the elbow on your right arm. Pull away from that hip. Now take the top leg and extend it out. Just reach, rotate, look up, circle around with your arm, loosen your shoulder. 3 circles each direction. Reach through your fingertips, bring that leg back in and pull away from the hip. Rotate towards the mat and bring your arms down, both arms as though in Sphinx pose, and come into a gentle twist. Pull back in the hip and draw the shoulders back. Open the trapezius muscles. All right. And walk your hands in. Take your legs over to the other side. Reach out with your left arm and hand and breathe your right arm up next to your ear. Pull through your fingertips and bend your elbow on your left arm. Reach through your fingertips. Reach, reach, reach. When you think you've reached as far as you can, reach a little bit more. Pull your hip away. So stretch your fingertips away from your hip and your hip away from your fingertips. And extend that top leg. It'll be your right leg. Rotate up, open the shoulder. Reach that outer edge of your foot. And then bring your leg back in. Another stretch. And then circle around. Loosen that shoulder. There are people that get a condition called frozen shoulder, and it's from lack of movement. So that'll never happen to us because we practice yoga. And come back into your stretch. Pull fingertips away from the hip, hip away from fingertips. And then turn and bring your arms around. Come into a gentle twist. Breathe and twist. And walk your hands back in. Come up onto the balls of your feet. We'll give our toes a little stretch. Ankles. Press your heels towards the floor. A few more rocks. Bring knees onto the floor. Press your heels away. Come up sitting on your heels. And then, I didn't tell the subscribers, but if you have a resistance band, just bring it around behind you. Wrap it around your hands and lift up and let it out a little bit more. Wherever you need to place your hands so that you can bring your arms up overhead and then lower down again. Open the shoulders. Up and down a few times. Really good stretch for the inner shoulder. Now bring it about even to your shoulders and pull away with your band. Stretch the band away. And then let it pull you into a deeper stretch. And then up overhead, pull out, release, pull out, and up. And we'll put that back down on the floor for a moment and come up onto the balls of your feet. Just balance on the balls of your feet. Reach forward, lift up through your crown. Now focus on your heels. Press your heels down and let that start to lift you up into standing. Bring your arms up overhead and reach. Take a stretch to the back. Engage hips and thighs. Elongate your spine and just go back. And then come forward with your hands. Step your feet a little wider apart. Hip width apart is good. Bend your knees and come down into a squat. Chair pose. And see if you can come onto the balls of your feet and let your heels off the floor. And down again. Okay. Now press your heels down. Start with your heels and then let that reverberate up through your leg and lift back up. Reach, engage hips and thighs. Deep breath, reach through your fingertips and go to the back. Standing back bend. And come back forward. Bring arms parallel to the floor. Breathe. Exhale, lower down. Keep your heels on the floor as long as you can. Come into chair pose, a deep bend. Bring the weight to the balls of your feet and allow the heels to come off the floor. All right. And lower your hands. Just step your left leg forward, and the right leg back. into lunge, sun pose. Just lift up for a moment and work with vinyasa, breathing in and out of the pose. Stretching those hip flexors. All right. And then hold. If you can keep your hip bones pointing forward and align your legs. Relax into the stretch. And then come down for sun pose, for the lunge. Toes under on the back foot and lift the back knee. You can be on palms or fingertips. And we'll come into a twist. Reach, left arm up. Keep your hips in the stretch. Press through the back heel so your leg is fully engaged. Relax the hip and come back down. Good. Let the back knee down as well as the top of your foot. Come up, bring palms into prayer hands, Anjali Mudra. Bring your right elbow outside, your left knee into a prayer twist. And if you want to go a step further, turn the toes under the back foot and lift the back knee into your prayer twist. You might be able to twist even a little further. And come back to center. And we're just going to switch sides. And come up into the high lunge and just work with loosening in the hip flexors and your low back. Breathe, nice and full breaths. Come into your lunge when you're ready and hold. Breathe. And then come into sun pose. Turn the toes under on the back foot. Lift the knee. Lift your chin. And come into your twist. Lift your right arm up. Open the chest. Press through the back heel. Maintain your stretch if you can. Let the hips relax down as you twist. And come back into sun pose. Let the back knee and the top of the foot down. Come up, palms together, and around into prayer twist. Whoops. I think my knees are separated a little more than usual. So press down in both feet. Press into your prayer twist. Breathe. And again, if you wish to go a little more challenge here, turn the toes under on the back foot and lift your back knee. Twist a little further. And let the knee back down. Come around to the front and pull back into a puppy stretch. All right, now we'll work with the roller here. So bring your roller onto your mat. You'll want it across the length of your mat. You're going to come around and sit on it. I'm just doing it sideways for demonstration purposes. So come over more to the one end, to the back end. Stretch your right leg forward. Bring your left foot across and then turn and face the long end of your roller. Press your palm, your right palm into the floor and turn onto the side of your hip. It'll be your piriformis, hip bone. Front leg keeps you stabilized. Flex the foot on the extended leg. And we're going to roll down to the knee. And just monitor the amount of weight that you put on your leg. If it feels painful at any point, just lift off a little bit from it. But roll all the way back up to your hip bone. Come down to your knee once again. Keep the leg flexed. That will remove some of the pain if you have a trigger point. And there's two ways you can work with that trigger point. If you find a sore spot, you can roll over it gently, breathe into it, or you can take the roller just ahead of that sore spot and roll up to it, to the sore spot, and then come up and over it as you lift and let yourself back down at the other side of it so that you're rolling just at the ends, which can help to release that sore spot. Come up over your piriformis, your hip bone. And then we'll switch to the other side. So start by sitting on your roller. You want to come to the short end. Extend your left leg out. Bring your right leg crossed over, foot on the floor. Turn and face the long end of your roller. Lift your hips and come over onto the side. Onto the side of your hip and your leg. Flex the left foot and then roll. Just walk your hands. This gets your IT band and part of your quads. Go all the way down to your knee. Keep the leg engaged, muscles working. Go all the way to your hip bone if you can. Just go as far as you can without losing it. And again, if you have a sore spot, if a trigger point, then choose which way you want to handle it. If you want to roll right on it, the caution is not to roll so much that you cause an inflammatory reaction. And monitor, gauge how much weight you put on the roller. If it's too painful, just pull back. Lift up a little bit. That's why you're on your hands and you have your right leg to help stabilize you. This will increase your circulation, I guarantee that. All right. Now let's address our glutes. We'll come into four square. So just bring your hands behind you. You're sitting on your roller. Cross your left leg over and then come over onto your left glute and roll away. This will smooth out those muscles. It's a great massage for those. And you can go as far as you want. You can go all the way up to your hip bone and all the way down to your ischial tuberosity, your sit bone. Just roll around, find a spot that's sore and roll on it a little bit. Another thing I do, if it works for you, you can try it. If you find a sore spot or a tight area in a muscle, you can just rest on it. Sit on it, rest on it, breathe, maybe roll around on it a little bit. Go side to side. Press your tailbone down and against the roller. Okay, now let's go to the other side. Huh, that's kind of fun, pivoting on a roller. So reach for the floor behind you, take your right leg across, ankle across, and then turn a little to the side and roll on your glutes, your hip muscles. And go all the way up to your hip bone and all the way down to your sit bone. And if you happen to find a sore spot, a tight area, pause on top of it. Place it on the roller and just let the full weight of your body down, or as much as you can tolerate if it's really sore. Okay, now we're going to try something that we didn't do the last time we used the roller, the last 2 times actually. Let's work with our quadricep muscles. So walk your hands and come towards the top of your hips. So you'll want to pull back a little bit so you have room on your mat. And just walk your hands forward. Keep your legs extended and roll down your thighs and see how that feels. Come all the way to your knees and roll. See how it feels. Come all the way to your hips. Now, to change the way you roll on your thighs, bring your legs together, bring your knees together, and turn your toes in. That's going to relax the thigh so you can roll more on it. And it'll also get the outer side of your thighs. Oh boy. The plumbers have arrived. Do you hear that? Do you hear that noise? Does it sound pretty noisy? Okay, so now that we've relaxed, one more. Let's do our hamstring muscles. This is easy. It feels good. Come around sitting on your roller. Roll it forward a little bit. Sit on it, extend your legs, and then just walk your hands back and roll on your hamstrings. This spreads them apart, which is what they need if they're tight, because so many people think that if you want to get your stretch increased, you do head to knee or forward bend over your legs. But what they really need is to be separated and spread out. So this accomplishes that nicely. Come all the way down to your knees, the back of your knees. Roll up. All right, and then we'll take the roller and put it away for now. And bend your fingers. Give your hands a break after working with that rolling, and circle around in your wrist, loosen everything up, get the blood circulating and get comfortable. So I thought this would be a great opportunity after working with our legs on the roller to practice our pigeon with the strap, the resistance band. But let's come into pigeon first without the strap. Bring your left leg around to the back. You want your knee pointing down to the floor. Face the front leg. The ideal position for this leg is parallel to the short end of your mat. So just work with your hip. Do you guys hear that sound? A little bit? Okay. Well, sorry. We're getting new pipes. Okay, so press your right palm on your right knee and lengthen your arm. Bring your left hand onto your hip and just give support to that stretch, bringing that hip forward towards the floor. And hold that pose. Breathe, relax into it. Keep coming more forward. Walk your hands forward and come down over the leg. Relax down in sleeping pigeon. Keep working with that hip, bringing it towards the floor, aligning your hip bones. If it feels a little tight, just be patient with yourself. Open to outcome, open to the flow that we talked about earlier when we worked with our quotations. Allowing the flow. Universal energies flow through you. All right, now lift up. We're just going to switch sides. We don't want to cause any soreness or inflammation. So just turn the toes under on the back foot, lift up, switch legs, bring your left leg forward, and see how this side feels. Reach back with the back foot. You can do that by pressing down on the top of the ball of your foot, pulling your heel back, setting your knee down, and then let the top of your foot relax down. And then bring your left hand onto your left knee, straighten the elbow, just kind of prop yourself up, and then your right hand on the hip and roll the hip forward. Breathe. Relax into it. This is going to get parts that the roller missed. Keep lifting in the sternum. Lift your sternum up. Reach back with the back leg and press, gently press that right hip forward. That's going to increase the stretch. And now walk your hands forward, come down into sleeping pigeon. Just overlap your arms or arms parallel and relax down. Continue to stretch the right hip down towards the floor. You'll undoubtedly feel this in the left hip down into your hamstrings. You can also press the navel forward, tilt the pelvis forward, just in and out of the stretch. And then finally relaxing into it. Breathe. All right, now we'll press back up. We're going to switch legs again. So turn the toes under on the back foot, lift yourself up, switch legs, and reach back with your left leg. Okay, now we're going to bend the back knee. So right now, just bend it and bring it in. Feel that stretch in your thigh up into your psoas muscles. Pull the hip around to the front. And work with your breath as you stretch the thigh on this side. Take in your breath. Exhale and pull in. Lift up into your arch in your back. And continue stretching in that thigh because you're going to need that if we're going to work with the resistance band. Keep the hips forward, in and out of the stretch. Okay, now bring that back knee around to the front. We want to take the resistance band behind your heel, cross it over in the front of your leg. Oh boy, it's getting really noisy in here. But we'll just work with what we got. This is our reality right now, right? So press it down as far as you can onto your ankle. You want the strap behind you. Once again, bring your leg around behind you. Bend your knee, bring the knee around, bring your hip around, and bring your elbow inside, slide along the strap, reach for it with the other arm, and pull into your stretch. You can walk your hands down, lift your shoulders, let the foot come in, reach your head back, arch. Feel that stretch in your thigh? Have you got it all right there, Jeannie? Let the knee bend. Let the strap out as much as you need to, and then just Pull in. You can walk your hands down the strap to increase your stretch. And if you need a break, just release out of it. Ah. Did you get that side all right? Do you need help? Are you ready for the other side? Okay. All right, so bring the band around behind your ankle. Cross your band and pull it around to the back of your leg. Bring the front leg into position. Bring your right knee around behind you. Now this side is going to feel probably a little different, but take your leg back, bend your knee, pull on the strap, reach for it, and pull into your stretch. You're probably going to feel it in your hip, but you'll feel it where you feel it. So just be aware. This strap is so strong, it's pulling my leg out. There we go. Pull your hip forward, walk your hands down the strap and pull in, lift your head up, keep pulling your hip forward and roll back. This side may be even better than the first side. All right. Okay, now, good, good, good. Yes, good. All right. So now we need a counter pose, all right? Let's come around into child's pose and stretch out your back. Bring your big toes together, touch your big toes, and separate your knees out to the side and come down into child's pose here. You can turn your head to the side, or you can bring your hands, arms forward and rest your head on your arms. Now just lift up and bring your knees in together again to stretch more of your back rather than your hips. And bring your arms around, thumbs by your ankles, palms up. Feel the new circulation in your legs and back. The warmth, the tingling. Whatever sensations you notice, just check it out. And now come up out of your child's pose, Balasana. Come over to one hip and just prepare for Shavasana. I'm going to mute here during Shavasana for you so that um, you won't have any disturbance from the workers in the other room. So just relax down. Be sure to separate your feet about a foot or 18 inches. And I will come back for you after you've had some time to let go. And start now to become aware of the flow of the divine mystery through your body, your mind, and spirit. Real faith means holding ourselves open to the unconditional mystery which we encounter in every sphere of our life, which cannot be compressed in any formula. So just bring some awareness into your body. Feel the magic carpet of your mat and the floor, the earth underneath you. Draw your knees up to your chest and roll to one side. Press up into sitting. Bring your hands into mudra to seal in the benefits of our rolling and practicing in yoga poses this morning. Pigeon. And then bring palms into prayer hands, Anjali Mudra. To me, faith is the knowing, not the hope, but the knowing. The divine provides everything we need. And that includes lessons to shine the diamonds of our light. So may that knowing be uppermost in your mind. Have a great weekend. Namaste, everybody. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to mention that I didn't mention in the beginning that you would need a roller or a mat. I did at the beginning of the session, but I didn't in advance to starting the session, and also to apologize because the plumbers are here and there was some noise. I guess it didn't show up too badly, but they're still working in there and we needed them. So this was the time that they had. And this is in the lower part of the house. So that's where they're working. So my apologies, but I hope you enjoy the session and get some relaxation and some TLC. So have a great weekend and namaste.